Hello. Well, you can't expect me to let this week go by without mentioning Greta Thunberg, can you? And so I'm going to do it now. It would be a very funny story if it weren't being taken so seriously by a lot of very stupid people. At the beginning of June, Greta Thunberg and an assorted group of, well, people that I would suggest might benefit from some sort of psychiatric intervention, they all set out across the Mediterranean in a sieve. Oh, no, I'm thinking of something else. Right, in a vessel originally called the Andalou, but renamed by the organisers the Madeleine. Actually, it looks like a sailing boat, and it started off bravely enough right at the beginning of the trip with all the sails. But now there are no sails in evidence. The masts and rigging are there, but she appears to be making the trip using a diesel engine, which is not very environmentally sound, but there you have the word environmental with the emphasis on mental. I couldn't resist that. I'm Granniopteryx. Please click like for this video, share it, and please subscribe. Also, if you're so inclined, you can buy a bale of hay for my two perpetually hungry equines using any of the links in the description or in this little panel I'm going to put here, or super thanks on YouTube. Right, next up, all about the flotilla. Okay, so the boat was taking what you might describe as a symbolic amount of food to Gaza. For instance, they had 100 kilograms of flour, and the Israelis and Americans are providing 4,600 metric tons of flour to Gaza. It's that sort of difference. But they were talking here about breaking the siege, as if Gaza hasn't suffered enough. But hang it, the suffering people of Gaza aren't really in the equation, are they? This is all publicity. Obviously, the whole thing was a publicity stunt to keep Hamas in the public mind. Just like putting rocket launchers in a schoolyard makes great optics if the Israelis shoot back and flatten the school. I'm talking about Hamas because it turns out that the whole exercise was organised and financed by this chap here, Zaher Birawi, described by The Telegraph, quoting a parliamentary speech, as a Hamas operative based in London. You know what? We have so many Hamas operatives living in North London. I'm surprised there are any underground water pipes left over there. Whatever, Barawi says he is a founding member, here you are, a founding member of what he calls the Freedom Flotilla. Labour MP Christian Wakeford said in Parliament that apart from his other links, Mr. Birawi hosted a public event called, I kid you not, Understanding Hamas. Where is that? In 2013, Mr. Birawi was named by Israel as a Hamas operative in Europe and is the head of the Europal Forum, which Israel designated as a terrorist organisation in 2021. And he's listed as a trustee of a UK registered charity, Education Aid for Palestinians. Education in Palestine, they actually have books that say that pose maths problems along these lines. My father shot 2 Jews yesterday, and today he shot 2 more. How many Jews has he killed? I'm not joking. That's what was in the education for these people in Gaza, well, the children. And publicly available video shows him hosting a 2019 event in London titled Understanding Hamas. So, back to the flotilla. On June the 8th, Israeli forces intercepted the Madeleine just over 100 miles from Gaza. And let's give this a play. I want you to notice how the people are, these members, this is the Israeli soldier here, and he's handing out sandwiches and things like that, telling everyone they're all quite safe. And they're making a whole fuss as if they're being machine gunned, and then they're sitting there with their hands up. They are not instructed to hold their hands up. What they had just done, though, apparently, was throw their phones out into the sea, which another YouTuber called Travelling Clat said he thought, and this is something that hadn't occurred to me, he thought that maybe they had contacts in Gaza that they wanted to hide. They also threw a laptop into the sea. Maybe there was something funny going on there. Anyway, let's watch this.
Mobilisez-vous! Mobilisez-vous! Go to your places! Ditch the phones! Ditch the phones! Ditch the phones! Yes. Phones in the water, please!
You see how they're putting this guy here is putting his hands up here. And nobody's asking them to put their hands up. I mean, I'm having a bit of trouble hearing what the instructions are, but it seems to me he's just telling them to sit down.
Assume position, please, everyone. To the water, to the water. We are being boarded right now. We're being intercepted right now.
Please, everyone, make sure that you make noise. If anything happens to us, this is yet another war crime. Added to the long list of war crimes that Israel has been committing.
We are being
So this is a war crime. They're saying this is a war crime. They are being stopped from entering a war zone.
Right now, we have way. Everyone here is safe. No one is wounded right now. It's very important that you know, no one is wounded until the time they boarded our boat. Okay? Please raise.
You also notice this is not an Israeli soldier, or he'd be wearing a helmet. This is one of the nutcases here, and he's so frightened, he's holding a camera and filming everybody while a war crime is being committed against them. Just saying.
Calm down, calm down.
So the soldier is saying, calm down, and they're sitting there with their hands up so that they look really, because the pictures this fellow is taking, they're going to go out on the internet, and people are going to see them there, with their hands up. And that's the picture that's going to be distributed around the world.
Calm down. Calm down, everyone. Please. Calm down. Yes. Everything's gonna be alright. Calm down. Wait. Hey.
What a bunch of tossers. I mean, that's the only word I can think of to describe these people. Okay, let's get back to the other screen. Yeah, and here's a picture of an Israeli soldier offering the most famous yacht girl in the world, well, after Meghan Markle, of course, offering her what is described in one report as a turkey sandwich. That's the first time I've ever seen Greta Thunberg smiling. Perhaps she's thinking, wow, meat, I can eat that and then tell everyone that those bastards in the Israeli army forced me to eat meat. I can't say whether she ate it or not, but after they distributed the food and the water, the IDF then took the boat. Yeah, here we are. Took the boat. Actually, that's a catch, isn't it? OK, well, whatever. Took the boat to the Israeli port of Ashdod. The defence minister, who glories in the name of Israel Katz, said he would deport them as soon as possible to their countries of origin. And that, ladies and gentlemen, would be the first time in history that a crew have abandoned ship because of an attack of cats. But wait, there's more. I also read that Mr. Katz planned to give them a goodbye present before they set off, Courtesy of the IDF, they would be given a luxury, no expense spared screening of the October 7th video, which consists of clips of GoPro horror recordings taken by various Hamas operatives, the organisation that they're there to support, as they were going about their work slaughtering kibbutzniks and partygoers and family pets. Now, I understand that this group of merry men refused to watch the video screening. And yeah, that's just about right. I mean, if that information is right, it's very typical lefty da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, isn't it? It just shows their attitude. They tried to pretend that they were being oppressed by Israeli war crimes when they were prevented from going into a war zone and given sandwiches. And then they refused to look at the very thing that this war was all about. I've read that when Greta was 11 years old, she and her schoolmates were shown a film in school about environmental damage. It was all about how, because of the rapaciousness of mankind, some of the most beautiful of nature's creations were being destroyed. This caused young Greta great trauma, and she became so despondent that she stopped talking for several months. The same sort of anguish she had about the destruction of inanimate objects might have sparked a similar response when she saw human beings and family pets being destroyed in the same way. And that might have stopped her talking for a few more months, which some people might consider something of a plus. But of course, she was too much of a coward to risk that, and her compatriots certainly wouldn't have allowed her to see anything like that because, well, they're basically cowards. They don't want to see the truth. The truth hurts too much. Yep, that's it. Till next time. You can help my channel by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That's quite important. And by sharing if you're so inclined. Links to my other channels and to donation methods are in the description. But the best way you can help is simply by clicking like and notify. Thank you.